Good afternoon. Good afternoon, followers. Today's video, we are going to learn how to manage simple survey data. We're going to learn how to manage simple survey data. With that, let me quickly show you what I have for you. First, let us import the data that I have, the simple survey data that I have. We'll get it ready before we start the process. This is also a good step for beginners. If you don't know how to import your data to Stata, you go to File, Import, you browse for the file. I think it is saved here, Demo Info 2. That's where I saved mine. I click. From there, you click on Import First Row as variable names. Then you say, okay, this simple data has been imported to Stata. This is what it is. It's a mix of both numerical value and that of string or text. So our responsibility is to manage this to transform a non-numeric to numeric. In other words, we change from string to numeric value before we start doing our basic estimation of our simple demographic data, or you call it simple survey data. That's what it is. What I've done to make it very easy, I've provided some notes here. So that can guide the process. But the good thing that we have to note in this video, we are purely going to use do file. It will be another opportunity for you to see how you can manage data in a do file, which is very important. Almost the previous videos have been purely using command-driven process or steps. But for this, we are going to use do file to see how you can manage your data in do file and also do your estimation. And at the end of the day, you create a do file that you can share with colleagues. You can also save for the future. Maybe you want to use the same estimation approach. You can use this as a reference to do your work. So what I will do, I'm copying this information from this Word document. Then I move it to do file. Do file, you click on this icon. You can see new do file. When you click, it opens. We paste. So the task here actually is to manage. You design or you structure your do file in a way that one can read and understand. So what we'll do first, let us try to give it a title. First, let me design this. I feel like just designing it with these stars. Let us assume that it's a line. Then when you want to type text, always either use / or use star, so that anything that you type becomes a text that one can read. It's not a command. If you just type it without introducing either a / or a star, Stata will read it as a command. And if it's not a command that is recognized, it gets error. So it is good to make sure that you either introduce / or you use star to type your information. So we say managing and estimating simple survey or simple survey data. That's what the title is. So I can as well design it this way if you like. So the data include ID, categorical, numeric, and string variables with some missing values. It's just a mix of character or nature that we need to try to transform in a way that we can estimate. As it is, we cannot estimate anything here. So it is good for us to do our data management. So this is a text. As I told you earlier, you introduce your star. Because it's a long one, what you do, you introduce forward slash. When you introduce forward slash, if you're not sure where the endpoint is, it can take all the documents as text. So for you to show where your text stops, you end up with indicating or typing star and forward slash. So meaning all of this in the form of a text. So further, we also have a text here which tells you that handle missing values. So what we are saying here, the first step that we have here exercise, we are to handle or manage missing values. And this is the syntax. This is the syntax for it. When you are managing missing values in string data, this is the command. And it's slightly different from when you are replacing or managing missing values with numeric data. So for this is a string command to manage missing values. So replace edoc equals to quotation open and close in between the half dots if educ equals to double quotation. So that's what it is. So for you to execute a command in do file, you have to align it. You align it like this. Then you come to this icon. You come to this icon. It is execute selection do. So you click it. When you click, you get it executed. You get your command executed. So if you come back to the data browser, you see that you've done something here, addressing missing values in this string variable, but it is a string. We still have to work on. We need to transform this. So what is the next step here? We'll do the next step to convert variables to usable formats. That's we are to convert from string variable to numeric variable, and we have two variables here that's in string or that are in text. We need to transform them. Come back to the data window. You see that sex, it is in text, in other words, string variable. Age, it is in numeric. ID, household ID is in numeric. Education or educ, it is in text. In other words, you call it string. So these two variables, as you can see them, they're in red. They tell you that they are in string format. So we need to transform them to numeric format. That's the responsibility that we have. So let us see what we can do. We come to our do file. Information is already here. So we say, what is the text? Step 2, we are to convert from string to numeric. You click this, tells you is the text. The syntax also is a text. We are just saying that the following item is a syntax. So this is the syntax for um, converting your sex variable to numeric variable. So the command is encode. So encode normally is for, it helps you to transform text or string to numeric. A string to numeric, right? You click, you alight, then you execute. When you execute, you will see that encode sex generates sex norm has been generated. This variable has been generated. Let's come to the window browser. We see that we've generated this text variable, this categorical variable, right? Instead of red now, it is in blue. So now you'll be able to do analysis of this, right? What next are we going to do? Let's come to our do file window. We need to convert education variable educ from string to numeric value. So this is just a text information. We introduce the star sign / because it's plenty. Let us don't just waste time. Yes, so all of this is just text. So we have to convert from string to numeric. So this one has a lot of some steps to consider before you finally change this. So one step, we need to generate a variable with missing value. We say gen, which stands for generate, educ num equals to dots, right? So let us generate this variable first. When you click, it shows that we generated this variable, this new variable, educ num, but it has a missing value. We need to place some values there so that we do our estimation. Let's come to do file again. What next? The next step is to replace educ, this new variable that we generated, equals to 0. So the values we're going to change to 0 is from dot. If educ is equals to none or aganwandi, meaning either non-education or pre-primary education. So it is in form of a text, then we need to transform that, right? So that's what we are going to do. When you click this again, you see that if you come, you see that we have one more step. You see that we've generated this. 0 values are there. Then we ensure that we complete the process. We replace educ equals to real education if education exclamation equals to into non or organic quotation closes and educ exclamation mark equals to quotation, double quotation, open and close in between dots. So we need to end the process with this way. It has been enlightened. Then you click. So I've done the process of generating this variable. Now, if you can see the differences, we've converted this non or organic organ1d variable or value to 0, meaning non-education. All of this. This is a grade 7 educational level. Then you have 10 educational level. So that's what we've done. That's what we've done for the moment. So what is the next step? As you can see, this is a mixture of string and numeric values. We need to drop those variables that we are not interested in. This one, these are just strings, so we don't need them. So let us drop. We come to our do file. We come to our do file. We type drop unwanted variables. And what are these unwanted variables? There are two ways to manage this or to delete unwanted variables. You can use either drop, you can use either drop command or keep command. To know detail of these options, you may manage to go back to my videos, introduction to Stata. I have step by step the way I apply this to in the commands. So for the moment, let us use drop command. But for the purpose of understanding, when you use drop, when you use drop command or syntax and you select the variable that you don't want, you delete the variable directly. So keep, meaning you only include the variable that you want. For drop, you include the variable that you don't want, then you click, it goes. For keep, you select the variables that you need to do your estimation, which is very important. So we use drop. We want to drop this sex and this education. These are string. These are strings. So we see drop. We click. So you can see that we've dropped these unwanted variables that we are there in this data set. So we now have clean. But let us do further management of this data. Let us do further management of this data. Let us rename this variable and also label this variable. I think this is very important. In my first video, I introduced you how to label a variable, how to rename a variable, right? That's a step by step. So if you have got opportunity to look that video, you also know how to rename and labeling a variable. So in this case, we say renaming and labeling a variable. So it is in form of command. We don't need command. It's not a command, it's a text. So we introduce the star. So what are we going to do next? Let us first start with labeling. First, we start with labeling. We start with renaming. Renaming a variable. The command here, first we want to rename this. This is household ID. We need to rename it to just ID. So we say rename household ID HHID to ID. Sorry, here to ID. So because we are dealing with do file, you need to select, then you click, you execute. When you execute, you can see that we've changed from HHID to ID. So the next step, we want to change this in lower cases to uppercase. So we say rename, should not be in cap, say rename age to age. Oh, sorry, I'm still clicking. Let me undo. So I don't. Okay. Redo this. The good thing about do file, you can undo and redo. Whereas if you do the direct data processing, it's difficult for you to redo. There is a command actually to restore deleted variable, but that's another step. I've also done that in one of my videos, so take your time and go through my videos to get the guides. So we want to rename age to age, so we highlight like this, we execute. So you can see that the lowercase has been changed to uppercase. Then the next step that we want to do, we want to rename this variable sex. For me, it looks somehow sex num to sex. I think it makes sense to sex. So that's what it is. We execute. Now we change sex num to sex. So let us also change this educ underscore num to educ. That's just education, right? We rename educ underscore num to educ. Just educ. So in fact, let me put it in uppercase. Educ. Educ. You click this. Rename educ underscore educ. What have we done? What is wrong? Command rename, yes. The spelling rename, it is wrong. So shouldn't be RENAMDE. Should be RENAME. So that was the error. So this will be corrected. It has been corrected. And then let us execute. Now it's okay. So you can see that we've renamed all of these variables into aliam, the ID, age, sex, and educ. So the next step, let us label. Let us label. Let us label variable. So let us come to, we are dealing with do file, so it's more of typing. So we say, let me just put this across. So what we need here, we say labeling variable, labeling variable, labeling variable. This is a text. It's a text, so we need to introduce this star, so it becomes a text. So what will be the label? Say label variable. Which variable are we to label? ID into household ID into household ID. Sorry, into household ID. I've used to direct command. So for this case, we need to execute. So you can see that we've labeled this household ID. So when you see that this is ID under name variable, name of the variable, and the label, or in other words, the description of it is household ID. Uh, so before the label, we are to label age. Before I label age as age distribution, age distribution of respondents. Or let us just put it age distribution, age distribution, age distribution. So this is what it is. We label variable, sorry, there is an error there. Should be label variable age into age distribution. So we will click here, label variable age into age distribution. Label variable age distribution, variable age not found. Oh yes. So it's very important to ensure that you type the right thing. Mark you inter alia, the variable age has been changed from lowercase to uppercase. So we got that error because I was using lowercase. So now let us put label variable age into age distribution. I think this one is okay. This one is okay. Now you can see that age is equals to age distribution. It's clear. The next one we want to label sex. We label variable sex into gender category or gender group. Gender group. Gender group. So you can also execute gender group. So the next one we have to label education. So we label educ. No, label variable educ into educational level. Educational level. So I think we've done justice to this. So you can see that we've renamed the variables. We've also labeled them well. So now we have clean data. We have clean data for simple estimation. But we cannot keep you here all. I cannot keep you boring. This is a very long video. So I think we stop here at this level where we've just managed our data. We've done encoding, we've generated new variables, converted from string to numeric, and all the rest of it. So for this particular video, let us stop here. For the simple estimation now, I encourage you to follow this channel so that you can get the simple estimation approach of this survey data. So the first thing that we've done just to clean the data, which is very important. Next one is to do simple estimation. That's what we are going to do. So with this, I've told you that I have a full of word information that I've transferred to this do file. So step by step, we'll be doing this to make sure that we arrange our do file well, we classify, we define our labels, we define where text is, we title them, then we'll create a very nice do file at the end of the day that one can share, or you can even send an email to me so that I can share the do file with you, as well as the data sets. You follow the steps so that you can learn the process. So the next step now, we will try to do the other thing, the simple frequency distribution and cross tabulation and all, just simple descriptive statistics that we have to do, having manage or clean this simple survey data. So thank you very much. Before we go, because we have to use the same do file, so let us save this. I'm saving it in my own folder under survey data analysis. So let me say, call it do file exercise. Do file exercise. So this is my own do file. I have saved it here. So the next time that will come, I will just open it. We continue where we left. So as you see, do file editor, do file exercise. So thank you very much. Make sure that you follow so that we can do the simple estimation. The next step is to do simple estimation. And it's very important to know the start and to the end. So keep on subscribing, like, and make comments so that we build this platform. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me in my next video.